Well, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. I hope that you are doing well wherever you are physically located, and I hope that you are doing well in all those other areas of your life as well. But I wanted to go live this morning and do something that I have never done before. Yes, I am having guests because I love guests. I love getting to get into the lives of women and see how they got to where they are and uh, get just rich kind of advice and nuggets from other women that are traversing this journey of life alongside me. But today I am actually doing a special show and I'm having some special guests um, who are going to come on and talk to you a little bit about something that makes me a little bit squirm. They're going to talk about what it's been like working with me and making that shift in real life from busy to purposeful in their real lives, like real people, not just me talking about it, but like real people that I've worked with. And so I am excited to have them on the show for them to just share a little bit about their journey. Hopefully, that you will be able to gain something and some insight and learning from the path that they've been on and be able to share like the progress and the movement and the goals that they are achieving. As a result of attending the course From Busy to Purposeful. So I am going to bring my two guests on, and good morning to whoever's out there. I see that we have some viewers out there this morning. Say good morning to me. Let me know that you are there. Hello, maybe where you're from. I love to know who's watching us in the morning. So I'm going to bring my two guests on. Here we go. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I have this morning
Good
two
morning.
special guests. I have Miss Toy Mac and Miss Tamika with me here this morning. They agreed to get up early this morning and chit chat with me, and I am most grateful to have them here this morning. So welcome you both to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes,
Good,
me
good.
as well.
Awesome sauce. Well, I am going to just jump right to it because y'all know I don't like to waste a lot of time. I like to get into the meat of what we're here for because our show caters to busy women, which means they got stuff to do. They're doing carpool or they're doing soccer games or they're trying to get a nap in. So we are trying. We definitely don't want to take up too much time this morning, but really wanted to share you ladies and the gifts that you are with my viewing audience because I have watched you ladies over the last few months just grow and expand and progress in ways that just make my heart smile. So I want our viewers to get just a little bit of insight into what your journey has been like as it relates from making that shift from busy to purposeful. So I'm just going to ask you, where are you guys from? Miss Toy, where are you from?
Well, originally I am from Princeton, New Jersey. It's a little city that's about an hour south east of Philadelphia, but I
Okay.
lived in Atlanta for 37 years. So that's how I met you.
Awesome. Awesome. So you are any Jersey folks out there, Atlanta folks out there. Shout out Miss Toy. She is representing from Jersey and Atlanta this morning. What about you, Tamika? Where are you located?
I am currently in Maryland. I'm originally from New York. My husband's from New Jersey. But we've been in Maryland for about 10 years up in
Awesome.
Hartford County.
Awesome. So Maryland, New York in the house as well. So this morning I want to ask you ladies. Okay, so I offered this course back in the beginning of this year, the beginning of last year, end of last year, for the first time. You guys were actually in two different sessions. So you probably have different perspectives from your experience there. But tell me, like, okay, you saw that I was offering this course. What made you say, yeah, I want to take this course? Like, what was going on in your life? What kind of, like, was there an adjective that you would describe how you were feeling when you decided, I probably should check this course out?
I would say for me, it was overwhelmed. That would be the best word to describe. I was pulled in many different directions. I was allowing, I mean, I could go on and on, but I was allowing other people to dictate my priorities and my time. And I was not in touch with what I really wanted and what really made me happy and where I was going. So when you and I talked, we were talking about something else. And then, it was like a blessing because, you and I rarely talk. I mean, people don't realize, but it was like right on time. You said, "Oh, do you want to take this course?" I'm like, "Yeah, sign me up."
Got it. So you were kind of feeling overwhelmed, pulled in a lot of different directions, kind of felt like your maybe hopes and dreams and aspirations were kind of being put on hold.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so, yeah. All
they
right, cool.
lied.
Can anybody relate to that feeling of overwhelm, feeling of being pulled in a million directions, feeling like your hopes, dreams, aspirations might be put on hold? Miss Toy, tell me, like, what adjectives would you use to kind of describe how you were feeling when you saw that I was offering the course that kind of said, maybe I should check this thing out?
I thought, well, I got three adjectives: stuck, perplexed, and unsure.
Mm.
And there was one thing I forgot to add when you asked us to tell us where we're from. I didn't tell you where I'm actually located at right now, and I'm in Virginia.
Okay,
So, and I've
okay.
been here for 3 years. I was like, I
Virginia in
forgot
the
to say,
house
I was
too.
talking about it later, but I didn't say where I'm at right now. So I'm in Virginia, where my mother is. So,
Got it.
but I was stuck because I was using a program. It was somewhat like a goal setting program. And I was able to track my activities and write goals down, but I didn't have a real good way of measuring how successful I was. And I didn't really have a good way of linking it up with the things that were really important to me. And I was feeling this angst about continuing it because I felt like I had gotten to the end of as far as I could go with it. And I knew I needed something more. And something more dropped right in my lap.
Well, cool. I am glad to hear that. I think that many women can relate to feeling stuck and just unsure. And so I'm glad. So, all right. So you were feeling these ways, you were feeling these kind of ways, right? You were having these feelings. But what areas, like specifically, were you like, okay, I need to make some progress in these areas? Like, I'm frustrated because I know I really want to make movement in these areas, but it just doesn't seem like it's happening. Were there like some specific areas that you were like, boom, boom, I really want to make some movement here?
I would say for me would just be saying no. That was and boundaries. That was something that I struggled with. Um, and putting myself first, my self care. This pandemic, I really, was stuck in the house. Really had no sense of like, okay, schedule for myself, and so I would say definitely exercising, just eating right. My iron is very low, so just eating right was important, drinking that water, things like that. Self-care was like something that I really needed to work on, and just boundaries when it came to other people sort of like talking me into doing things that, really weren't part of my vision for my life.
That's good. Miss Toy, what about you? Were there like some specific areas that you were like, listen, I need to see some progress here, 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 and here?
Well, to me, talk about self care. And even though I was exercising and drinking, um, I don't think I was focusing on the deeper part of me, um,
Mm,
and those things that were the most important to me. I think for me, I always, I mean, I assist, several people in my family, and I was, I sometimes I felt like I always was putting their needs, which I had gladly would do above mine. And and that was probably the biggest thing is I was like, how do I focus in on zero in on what's important to me? How do I where do I start to even try to write that down? And that was probably the big one of the biggest things because the exercising it felt like I was like, oh yeah, I got this, but I don't know that I saw a whole lot of progress. Had no feedback other than my own, and you know, and that's surely not enough. And so, just to have, just a different perspective with someone who either knows me or learns enough about me to be able to speak into my life. And I'm fortunate. I have a few friends that are like that, but I just needed something. I needed something that what I was doing at the time was not giving me.
Got it.
And
Got it.
that's kind of where I was at.
Got it. Thanks for being so open and transparent with me about kind of where you were in the beginning. Because I think it's important for women to know that no matter where you find yourself, if you're stuck, if you're overwhelmed, if you're struggling with boundaries or feeling like you're not putting yourself on the calendar, those are areas that I think for a lot of people, you struggle with it, but you don't realize that it's possible, right? That it's even possible to make those changes. Like you're like, I want to, I'm going to set this goal, but then it doesn't happen. And then you think, well, maybe it's just not my time. Maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I got to get to another stage of life before I can experience experience the growth and the progress that I want to see in these areas that really matter. So thank you so much for being transparent about that. So I'm going to ask you, so the course, for those of you who don't know, it focuses on developing purposeful mindsets, developing purposeful priorities, and then ultimately developing purposeful pursuits. And our goal is to have all those intersect, right? Where your mindset is serving your priorities are serving your pursuits, and they all are kind of working together in tandem to ultimately get you what you want. So when we went through the class, right, and it's broken up into sections: mindset, priorities, and pursuits. Like, which section was your favorite, or which section did you feel like you had the biggest aha? Was it around the mindset? Was it around the priorities, or was it around the pursuits? And I got to tell you guys, we did not rehearse this before we came on. Can y'all confirm that? So when you see them looking up in the air, like searching for answers, is because I didn't want this to be rehearsed. So there are pros and cons to that, right? So, but I wanted them to give you the true, honest answers, right? Really from their heart and not something that was rehearsed per se. But so when you think about the course that you took, where did you feel like you had the biggest ahas? Was it over your mindset? Were you surprised that, like, wow, I didn't even know I was thinking like that I was having those thoughts? Was it the priorities? Were you like, well, I thought I knew it was important, but it's kind of not showing up? Or was it in your pursuits where it's like, all right, I got these goals that I want to be making movement on, but it's not happening? Like, can you identify which area or areas, I guess, that kind of had you aha in the most?
I think for me, maybe it's the pursuits, because I don't know if you did this in the second course, but you had us log what we actually did with our time. And
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
realized like I am not on my calendar at all. And so that was like the biggest thing that got me going, because I'm like, wait a minute. When I log my time, it's everybody else and everything else except for me. So that gave me permission to, okay, focus on my mindset. What do I need to prioritize? And so then with my pursuits, it just gave me permission to like really pursue them, just to make myself a priority.
Yeah. Yeah. Can anybody relate to that? Like, just like everybody on the calendar but you? I'm going to tell you the truth. That is part of the reason why I created the course, because I realized for a long time everybody was on the calendar except for me, and I was paying the price for that, right? And so part of my mission here is to help other women not pay the price that I had to pay. We don't all need to be paying the price. If somebody already paid the price of admission for you, why are you paying? You can enter for free. So that's part of the reason why I developed the course. What about for you, Miss Toy? Like, was it the mindset part? Was it the priority part? Was it the pursuit part that kind of was like, oh yeah?
Um, Actually, one of the things that Tamika said, the when we had to list down on the calendar everything we were doing, every point of the day, I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know if I was more surprised at all. I mean, because I actually had time where I couldn't account for certain periods of time. I was like, I know I'm busy. And so that was a eye opening period. And then to when we had to sit down and think about what our 5 priorities were, that was an aha moment for me, because I realized, some of the things that I thought, well, actually, what I thought was a priority to me, I think remained a priority. Um, and I don't know why I thought it was something different. I was glad that what I put first actually really was first, and that's my relationship with God. Um, and I saw that very clearly based on just what I did from, um, day to day, week to week. And I think the pandemic really kind of honed in on it. And I zoned in on it more. I didn't realize I was what all I was doing or what I was pursuing or looking at until I actually wrote it down,
Yeah.
and it and
And were
showed and
there
it showed
any?
up as one of my main priorities.
That's awesome. Were there any though that you felt were in your mind a priority but weren't on your calendar that you were kind of like, oh, I really thought I was spending more time doing this, but I wasn't?
Hmm.
I'll give you a moment to think about it. What about for you, Tamika? Was there anything that
Yeah,
you were
I
like,
don't know. I'm trying to think.
Um, I would probably say my children. I really was not, they're all young adults now, and there's a lot of things that I needed to talk to them about and make sure they learn before they left the house. And so I wasn't, because I have four of them, I have a tendency to sort of talk to them as a group here and there. But by me really listing out each of their names and really saying, okay, this one needs this right now, this one needs that right now, I need to show, it really. So now what I do is I created a group text, but then I actually make it a point to meet with them individually, like at least once a week, to sort of go over, like, okay, what's going on with you and what do you need help with? Just to check in and really give good advice, because when they become teenagers, they kind of go off on their own. But it kind of made me loop back around to them.
you know what? You touched in on a really big one that I see a lot with course participants, with group coaching, with one-on-one coaching, which is people are like, my family is the most important to me. And then when we look at like quality time, connection, intimacy, what are you doing to develop, nurture those relationships with your kids, with your friends, with your spouse? A lot of times we say, oh, my husband is important to me, or my kids are important to me. Then when you look at the schedule and you're like, all right, so this week, what kind of intentional time have I had in those areas that are really important to me, that I'm saying are important to me? You see that mismatch, and that happens a lot. So thanks for sharing that. I know for me that happened a lot too. Before I kind of came up with a system, was essentially I was just going through the day, and it didn't really allow for time for me to sit down and be like, is the main thing really the main thing? Like, am I really spending time on the things that I say is really important to me? And so I'm glad that you were able to kind of get that insight as a result of going through the course. So after you took the course, tell me, like, is there tell me about the changes that you saw. Like, was there what was the change that surprised you the most when you were like, whoa? Was there like a whoa moment? Was like, oh, I didn't even realize I needed to make that change, and now that I'm making that change, like seeing the benefits of it. Is there any one or two things that kind of jump out at you?
Well, I would say for me, because we laughed about this. I don't know if it was the last coaching session we had or the one before. How I was not getting enough sleep, and I could
Mm.
not foresee how I was going to, based on the way I kind of had my days laid out. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get. I don't see it. I don't see getting more than 6 hours sleep a night.
I remember
And
this
I
conversation as
am,
clear as it was. I remember this
yeah,
conversation, Miss Toy, in the beginning. And I remember you kind of like almost minimizing the sleep. You're like, well, I'm not really getting a lot of sleep, but I know there's not really much we can do about that. So let's just focus on these other areas. And I was like, whoa, pump the brakes, right? Wait a minute, let's go back a bit because I don't even think you realize like how little A sleep you were getting, but B that you could do something about it. And so when we kind of stopped and understanding how important rest is, I think oftentimes we as women minimize the need to get rest and how critical it is to how we show up, how we perform, our creativity, our productivity, all the things, our moods, all of that is impacted by if we're getting enough rest or not. So I had to just take a pause there because I chuckle a little bit on the inside when you mentioned that, because I remember you thinking, well, there's nothing we can do about that. So let's just focus on, my exercise and my drinking water. It was a you were like, there's no hope for that.
That's
you're
funny.
right.
So
That's
tell me,
exactly how I felt about it because
had accepted
I
that as
felt like,
normal. You had accepted
oh,
that,
I
well, this
did.
is just my
I
reality
did.
that I'm not going to get regular rest. So let's not even focus on that.
Hmm.
So tell me
You're
about
right. I
how
did.
your rest has improved.
Well, I started based on your constant, you're evaluating us, or kind of getting a feel for where we're at every week. Started kind of expanding my mind about what I could do during the day to help myself at night. And so when I did that, I realized that I could move something that I was doing at night to the day that would open up for days during the week that I could get more sleep. I could get 6 hours more sleep. And for there's some people think 6 hours. That's still not like huge for me because I was doing five, 4.5, five. I mean that was like my norm. So for me to get 6 hours, 6.5, some nights almost 7 hours. That's a major milestone for me.
Wow.
I can tell in how I feel. Clarity, everything is like way up because I'm just overall getting, I have weeks like this week was not my greatest with sleep. I'll admit that. But I have weeks sometimes it's like that. But for the majority, oh no, it's completely like a 360 better.
Wow. I gotta tell you, I was so proud when, first of all, because part of our process is we do a lot of tracking, and Miss Toy kind of talked about it. Every week we come to the table and we talk about, how did your week go? Let's talk about your priorities. What progress did you make in there? What roadblocks did you struggle with? And then we come up with a plan for the roadblocks. We don't just say, oh, well, this is a roadblock. We're like, okay, we need a plan. So let's talk about the plan. And we try to evaluate, like, is this a priority issue? Is this a mindset issue? Like I really like my whole thing is you cannot address what you don't first assess, right? So you got to spend some time assessing. And so we spend time every week assessing our week. It's like we treat our personal life in the areas where we want to grow. We treat that like a job. We take that as seriously as we would take going to your employer who's like, oh, you've got deliverables, you've got to meet these milestones. We want to see those same milestones met in our personal lives. So I'm so happy that you shared that. And if I could just brag on you just a little bit more, because I know you're humble and very modest, but just seeing Miss Toy be able to regularly see the progress in her consistency around working out and exercise. I mean, she is consistently working out, and um she had some roadblocks to getting that done. And so just kind of working through that, I am just so proud of seeing the progress that you've made in your health, um, your physical
Thank
health,
you.
spiritual, just in a lot of areas. But those, I'm just so proud of the progress that you've made in those areas. Tamika, what about you? Tell me a little bit, like, where did you kind of like see the most movement? Like after the course, you're like, okay, I really want to make progress in these particular areas. What were those for you?
I think for the biggest thing for me was mindset, because I knew how to schedule my time and I knew, but for me was mindset that, okay, if I say I want to do these things and they're important to me, then when those, like you said, roadblocks come up. So, well, let me just say this: from taking the course for, it was 4 weeks, it kind of built this inner accountability system. Um,
Mm.
you know, I had a different mindset. I prioritized, I wrote it down. I actually shared it with some friends. And so by me sharing it, like my best friend, she'll hold me accountable to it. She'll say, well, didn't you say, when your kids reach a certain age, you were going to downsize? And I'm like, okay, okay. And so it kind of, the course built this sort of like structure for my mind and this accountability and just this motivation to say, okay, what, this is a roadblock this week, but let me make sure next week, I get on. And I love the whole like biting the elephant in bite sizes, because I had this tendency to say I want to accomplish all these things and then feel defeated when I'm not accomplishing like maybe the third thing. So now I kind of just have in the back of my mind, like, okay, I'll do a little bit of that, and then next week I'll do a little bit more of what I couldn't get to. So the course was life changing for me, as I said before, because it just keeps me going on. Okay, this is what's important, and just let me keep myself going, and the accountability piece is great as well.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I get the most joy when I talk to you guys. Like when you are telling me about, okay, I actually said I was going to do this and now I actually did it. It's like my little heart swells cuz I'm just like that's the whole point of this, right? Is for you to really start accumulating more wins, not just professionally, because I know both of you ladies professionally. You are doing fantastic professionally. You got great jobs and you are admired at work and all those kinds of things. But then when it came to the personal life, it was kind of like, yeah, about that. So to be able to see you taking as much control and initiative and intentionally, purposefully prioritizing those areas in your personal life, it just makes me so happy. So all right, so we're gonna wrap up. I just want you ladies to just, if there's a lady who's listening, right, and she's like, okay, this sounds interesting, okay, nice little stories, and she's kind of on the fence, like, should I do this thing? Like, what is the one thing that you could say to her, like, that would convince her, right, that it's worth taking the chance, right? That it's worth making this commitment to invest time, because you ladies invest time in making this a priority and investing the money to do it as well, right? What would you tell her? Like, she's on the fence and she's like, I'm not sure. What would you say to her? Like, you need
I
to go
would,
ahead and do it.
for me, I would say I don't know why anybody would not take this course, because the time and the money it's just so worth a lifetime of change. You know, it's only, to me, it wasn't a lot of time taken out of my week to meet with you all. You give us so many tools to self-sustain throughout the week, and it's just worth it. I mean, my house is about to be put up on the market next Friday because, move was one of my priorities, and and so that's just like proof in a nutshell that you can, and I gave myself permission to, take time off of work to handle that. I would not, I'm telling you, before the course, I would have put many things off after work. And so it's just worth taking the course to get the tools to make your goals a priority and not just work goals, all different types of goals.
I love that. I'm so excited. I can't, you gotta like share pictures of the new house and all of that. I'm excited to know, like, hey, we had played a part in you making a big move and making those decisions. So that is super exciting to me. What about you, Miss Toy? What would you tell her? She's on the fence. She's like, it sounds kind of good. I'm not sure. What would you say to her that why it would be worth her making that investment in time and money and in herself?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on what Tamika said. It's definitely, it will change your life. Um, it is definitely something that you get so much more out of it than what you put into it. The investment of time and money is minimal compared to the skill set, the mindset. If you put, if you just show up, and I mean, showing up is part of it, but if you invest yourself in it, you'll get even more. And for me, I realized that um, this was exactly what I needed. It came at the right time, and it would be worth, I mean, if you're looking at taking care of yourself, this is part of taking care of yourself. um, and this will can put you on a path to achieving, whatever your goals or whatever it is that you believe is your purpose in life. This course can help you to start to see those things happen in your life.
I remember you told me that your
And
word for the
I can,
year was manifest. I remember in January
yeah,
you posted on your page, you were like, my word for the year is manifest. And I was like, okay. I went and looked up the definition. I was like, okay, let's be clear about what you're saying your word is. And so I just want to know, we're in almost September. Is your word, are you seeing the
yeah,
manifestation of what you intended to see at the beginning of the year? Because really, that's what we really want.
yeah, yeah. And actually, yes. And I am seeing my life unfold, and I am seeing manifestation of some of the things that I have uh, put into myself. I made myself a priority this year. Um, and I invested in myself, and I'm starting to see the manifestation of investing in myself.
Well,
And so, yes, I'm definitely. I still, I mean, we still got what 4 more months of the
yep.
year. So I'm expecting it to be. I'm expecting to get even better.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that like I said, this past week was not my greatest week with some of the things that I'm, working towards, but that's okay. You're gonna have an off week. That's all right. That's par for the course.
You know what? It's
You just have
interesting
to
that
look
you
at and keep
say
your
that.
mind focused on the big picture.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that because okay, so this is weird for me, y'all, because I don't really like to mm, toot my own horn is not really something that I do well. But I know you ladies are the ones that have motivated me to be like, you know what? it would be selfish of me to not share what I see happening with you, with others. And I felt like you could tell your story way better than I could ever tell it, and authentically tell it, without any scripts or anything like that. I want to ask you this question. It's weird me asking it, but I think that people probably want to know what kind of, like, how would you describe me as a coach? Like, because some people, you like, you watch some of these shows where, like, I don't want to call any names, but it's like, girl, you better get in line. It's like drill sergeant, like, what's wrong with you? It's kind of like I'm curious to know, like, how would you describe what your coaching experience is like? Just kind of like what the dynamics are between yourselves and working with me.
So, well, so first of all, we're sister friends. I would say it's very sister friends. Um, this um your spiritual background has always been awesome for me. So I think I just trust that you come from a place of spirituality as well. I mean, and it's just you have a warm yet funny, upbeat um approach with the group. And so that keeps the group, when we're in the group sessions, I love the group sessions because you have an upbeat spirit. And so it sort of like opens up it just opens up the space. It creates a safe space for everybody to be vulnerable and really open up. And the support that I got from the other women in the group was phenomenal. It's kind of like an unwritten rule that you have that the space will be safe. It will be as positive as we can be because we are dealing with challenges, so it's not that anybody's walking in there phony. I mean, everybody's dealing with challenges, but I felt safe talking to a group of women that I didn't even know, about what's going on in my life. But it's a coaching environment, so it's not therapy. It's a coaching environment. So for me, the biggest thing that I got of it was momentum. And so you have this sort of energy that motivates me to just keep the momentum going. So I mean, I like your approach, and it's definitely not drill sergeant screaming.
Thank you, Tamika. What about you, Miss Toy? What would you say?
Well, I come from a very unique perspective on you, Miss Naja, because I have known you for so long. And I got the opportunity to know you as a friend. And not saying that we weren't always friends, but I don't know, it was just different. Um, and I always appreciated your approach to things, period. Um, and the best way I can describe your coaching style is, how when a baby first starts to walk and their mother is behind them and you let them go and they take a few steps and then they fall back and then they may fall back into your arms and then you don't hold them back, you just lift them back up and they take a few more steps and you're there and you're kind of on both sides, like, okay, I got you, I'm here, if you fall I'm gonna catch you, let me help you, or then you get on the other side, you start on behind them, then you get on the front side of them and you say, come here to me, and then they're coming and they fall and you say, come here to me. That's kind of the way that you approach your coaching. When we're you see us moving towards those goals and dreams that we have, and we have those weeks where where we're going to, as we're going to stumble, and then we get back up and we keep moving, and you're like, come on, and you say, let me show you something, let me help you with this, and you get back up. That's the way the way that I envision you, or not the way I envision, that's exactly what I feel like you approach our coaching. Like Tamika said, the environment that you set the tone for um, is I wouldn't you couldn't be in a better group. Um, and I feel like that's going to be the tone that you're going to set with every group you have. So the what you not only just what people would get from just your coaching them, but what they get from the group of ladies in general, the feedback and the encouragement and the push forward and the patting each other on the back and all of those things that you get just from doing this is outside of this is during taking the main course, but also doing the group coaching too. Um, that and you are the center of it. You are
Well,
that
I don't want to be the
core.
center, but I hear you, and I mean because
Well,
literally,
that's how.
because it's about you guys. It's about no, but at the end of the day, it's like the only reason I do what I do is because of you, right? It's because you've clarified, put that vision forth of what you want to see, and that analogy. I literally, y'all can't see it, but my eyes are watering from that analogy because that's what I've always wanted to be. It's like I got your back, I got your front. But once we get back up, I'm gonna pull you. We gonna pull forward. We gonna keep moving toward the vision because you wrote the vision. You made it plain. You've clarified what it is you're trying to do, and so now you kind of make my job a little bit easier because I know what you're moving towards, and so we all have a vision. We all have a clear understanding of where we want to go. So thank you, ladies. Like I said, I appreciate y'all just taking time out this morning to do this. Like Tamika said, she's in the middle of moving. Miss Toy got her own life. So I don't want to keep you long. We're going to wrap up now, but I just thank you ladies both so much. I am excited about the progress you've already made. I'm excited about the progress you're going to continue to make. And I'm just grateful that you chose me to be part of that journey with you. And I am prayerful that the ladies who are out here listening, whether you're hearing it live or you're watching the replay, that you hopefully will see yourself in many ways, and that you also recognize where you are is not where you have to stay. That those dreams, that progress you want to make, that those goals, that vision, that those aspirations that you have for yourself, they can really happen. They absolutely 100% can really happen. And once you have a mindset, you embrace that mindset, you recognize where your mindset might be struggling a little bit so we can work on that, and you clarify your priorities, then once we work out the pursuits, the path is so much clearer. And then to have ladies like these ladies who are on here right now, and it's lots of them. It's not just these two ladies. I couldn't have them on this morning, but if y'all are out there, say hello. Let these other viewers know what kind of experience that you've had, because it's not just about the coaching. It is about the community that we develop and grow together. So thank y'all so much again for coming, and everybody have a great rest of your week. Tamika and Miss Toy, have a great weekend, and thank you again. Y'all
Thank
have
you.
a good
I
one.
love my
You're
prioritizer,
welcome.
by the way. It's the bomb. It is the
Yes,
bomb.
We didn't even talk about that.
absolutely.
We
Yes.
didn't even talk about
You
that.
have to get it. It's the bomb. I love it. Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah,
Every
We didn't
week
even
I
talk
do it.
about
yeah,
that, but you will get hands-on tools that you will be able to use every single day. There won't be any question how to use it. It's going to be clear, and you'll have a clear path on how to use them, and so that you can truly not just talk about the progress you think you're making, but see the progress that you know that you're making. So thank you for that
yes,
shameless plug, Miss Tamika.
absolutely.
I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great Saturday. And come and go to my page, sparkherblaze.com. Learn more about the course. It's called From Busy to Purposeful. I would love to get you on our waiting list. We're building the waiting list now. I am expecting that this session is going to be bigger than even our previous sessions, but there will be a limit to the number of people I can have because I want it to remain a community, a safe space where we can see the growth that we want to see. But get on the waiting list. If you want to get on the waiting list, just say me. I'll be happy to send you the link. If you want more information, or even I'm sure these ladies would be happy to talk to you if you want to talk more with them, just say me. I'm interested. Tell me more, any of those things, and we'll be happy to reach out to you and get you more information about what you can expect in the course From Busy to Purposeful. Y'all have a great Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.
You
Thank you,
too.
ladies.
You too.